Dayaya Anando Vilasati Paro Brahma Viditah Saraswatyasya Agre Nivasati Muda Satya Nilaya Iyam Kyatir Yasaya Pratata Suguna Isha Sharana Asti Anena Ayam Granto Rachitaiti Bodhavyam Managaha. Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati, in his book Sanskara Vidhi, he writes who is Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. He gives an introduction about himself and what is his state, what is his real state in this shloka. Maharishi is saying that you must know who is the author of this book. Unfortunately, we live in such a time, and in our country, which is called as Deva Bhumi, our country was the abode of Rishi Muni Tapasvis. But today we live in such a situation where people openly criticize and openly dare to criticize Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. Yesterday I made a video Klishta and Aklishta Vritti, and one guy sent a message. He addressed me, "Hello Mr. Niyogi." He called me as a Niyogi. Then he sent another 2-3 message criticizing Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati in so bad words. He used such a bad words for Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. My heart stopped literally by reading those words, and immediately I deleted the comments. I don't want anybody else to read those comments. Unfortunately, without understanding, we judge a book by its cover. And we, in this case of Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati, we do not know the book also, we do not know the cover also, we just judge him. How? By people hearsay. Neither we study his Bhashya or Ved Bhashya, neither Rigveda Adi Bhashya Bhumika, nor Satyartha Prakash properly, nor his Sanskara Vidhi, nor the other books, Vyavahara Bhanu. Vyavahara Bhanu is a very small book, but such a depth, impactful book we must read. We don't study his Bhashya, but we are open to criticize him without understanding the quality. So, I am lucky that I read this shloka today morning. I wanted to make a video immediately about Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. Who is Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati? And Maharishi himself explains who is Maharishi. He says, Dayaya Anando Vilasati Paro, in whose name Ananda is existing after the word Daya. And he says, Brahma Viditaha. Ananda means bliss, in whose name the bliss is existing, and in whose name the mercy is also existing, Daya Bhavana, after the word Ananda, and Brahma Viditaha. And because the Ananda, the bliss of moksha, the bliss of Ananda is not mine, it is derived from Brahma, Parabrahma, Paramatma. See, here also you must see there is no proud or ego or ahankar in the statement. Maharishi completely surrender himself to Paramatma, saying that in whose name Ananda is there, and that Ananda is also coming from Paramatma. And this is a complete Vedic. Even the Jivatma does not have Ananda in itself as a quality. Jivatma derives Ananda either from Prakriti or from Paramatma. Jivatma fails to understand the Ananda of Prakriti is temporary, Ananda of Paramatma is permanent. So here also Maharishi is totally submissive to Paramatma in writing about his name. Also he says that the bliss in my name and the bliss inside me is derived from Paramatma, not from me. And also he says Daya, supreme mercy is there in Rishi Munis. This we must understand. See, 2 rishis are most criticized in our country. In the last 150 years, 200 years at least, 2 rishis are most criticized. Number 1, Maharishi Manu Bhagavan. He is called as Bhagavan, but still we criticize him for Manusmriti without understanding what is real Manusmriti. If you want to understand what is real Manusmriti, go through my playlist Manu Bhagavan and Manusmriti, where I have explained that more than 1400 false shlokas are there in Manusmriti, which is not written by Manu Bhagavan. Bhagavan name we give to a person when he attains Samadhi, like Bhagavan Sri Ram, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Manu Bhagavan. Bhag means Aishwarya, Van means Vala. One who possesses the Aishwarya of Paramatma, of Yoga, is called as Bhagavan. So Manu Bhagavan is the greatest yogi who lived in our country, but we criticize him openly. And similarly Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. For what fault? Maharishi, what fault he did? He exposed the truth as truth, that's it. There is no other fault he did. If exposing the truth as truth is fault, then we cannot call ourselves as human beings. We are Rakshas, we are Asuras, criticizing a Maharishi. The person who is criticizing Almighty God says in Atharvaveda that don't criticize a Rishi, whether he is living or dead. Don't criticize a Rishi. You do not know his tapasya, you do not know his qualities. Never criticize a Rishi, because I will put you into such a situation where you will feel that why I am alive. I will give you such a stringent punishment if you criticize a Rishi. But unfortunately, we do not read Vedas, we do not read the books of Rishis, but we start criticizing the Rishis. So Maharishi says, Dayaya Anando Vilasati Paro Brahma Viditaha. I am in Parabrahma Ananda. I have supreme mercy inside me. And my name is also Dayanand. And also he says, Saraswati Asya Agre. Sarahavati iti Saraswati. My Acharya explains the word Saraswati. Saraswati means Vedvani. The Vani which emanates from the mouth of a yogi is called as Saraswati. That is why Vedas are called as Saraswati, because Vedas emanate from the mouth of the yogi only. Nobody else can emanate Vedas knowledge, because Vedas emanates from Paramatma, and Paramatma is inside the yogi. So when the yogi speaks, his name is called, that is called as Saraswati. So Saraswati yasya agre nivasati muda. That Saraswati is residing in my tongue, and it is joyfully residing inside my tongue. And whenever I speak, see, we must understand the inner meaning here. Whenever I speak, Maharishi says, whenever I speak or write any book, it is all Saraswati only, because I am totally in the joy of that Parabrahma, and I speak the knowledge of the Vedas. And further he says, Satya Nilaya. Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati is Satya Nilaya. He is purified by the truth. We do Achaman mantra, Om Satyam Yasha Srimai Shri Shayatam Swaha. Satya Yashah Srimai Shri Shayatam Swaha. Satya Shayatam Swaha. We are praying to Almighty God, Paramatma, मुझ में सत्य स्थापित कर दो. पर जिसमें सत्य स्थापित हो गया है, उनको हम तुपते हैं. We are praying to Paramatma every day that, hey Paramatma, give me truth inside me. I don't know what is truth. Give me the true knowledge of the Vedas. But jinke andar, one who possesses the truth, people darely, oppose them. People darely criticize them. People darely speak bad about them. So Maharishi says, the tip of whose tongue resides joyfully the Saraswati God, Vedamata, and who is purified by the truth, know him as the author of this book, Sanskara Vidhi. He says, Ayam Granto Rachita Iti Bodhavyam. Understand that this Grantha, Ayam Grantha, and further he does not stop there. He says one more word. He says, Iyam Kyatir Yasaya. Maharishi is also praising the people who are reading his book. He says, oh, Kyati means one who has the knowledge. He is Kyati. One who is sinless people, ho pious people, ho purusharthis, ho tapasvis, ho knowledgeable people. Because you are reading this book, I am addressing you like this. So when we read Maharishi's book, we must understand, we must have this kind of Kyati knowledge inside us. But we do not have Kyati. We people today read Maharishi's book to criticize Vedas. People read Maharishi's books to criticize Maharishi. People read Maharishi's books to criticize Sanatan Dharma. Shameful people. Shameless people. So sinless people, oh pious people, oh sinless people, understand that this book is authored by that person who has this kind of qualities. And also one more important quality is Pratata Suguna Ishara Sharana. Oh people, please understand, the author of this book has only one shelter, and that is Paramatma. Ishwar Sharana. We do everyday Agnihotra, ya Atmada Bhalada Yasya Vishwa Upasate Yasa Chaya Amritam Yasya Mrityuhu. जिसके शरण में जाने से अमृत है. We do not consider Paramatma as our shelter, but Rishi Munis always consider Paramatma as our shelter. My Acharya always says, you have only two shelters. You are not at a yogi, you have taken Diksha from a yogi, you are doing everyday Agnihotra, but you have two shelters. And what are those two shelters? One is yogi, your Acharya, other one is Paramatma. And why yogi is your shelter? Because inside the yogi Paramatma resides. That's why yogi is your true shelter. And here Maharishi says that I have only one shelter, and that is Paramatma. I do not have any other shelter. Even when he was beaten by stones, remember when Maharishi did the Shastrat with Kashi Shankaracharya, he won the debate. But Shankaracharya, what he did, nobody was inside the room. Shankaracharya and his disciples were inside the room. Maharishi did not have disciples inside the room. Shankaracharya started showing a face to his disciple, and his disciple started shouting Jaya Jaya Shankara, Hara Hara Shankara. Everybody thought that Maharishi lost the debate and Shankaracharya won the debate. And when Maharishi came out of the room, he was beaten. He was beaten with what not, chappals and stones, and he was beaten. You know Maharishi, what he said? Maharishi said, Mujhe koi dar nahi hai. I don't have any fear because my only shelter is Paramatma. I do not have fear of death. I have won the debate. This Paramatma knows and I know. And inside the room there was one more guy who wrote the truth in the paper. Next day morning he wrote the truth that it was not Shankaracharya who won the debate. It was Maharishi who won the debate. That paper cutting I saw in, I think, Bangalore Arya Samaj or Chennai Arya Samaj. That paper cutting is still there. The person who won the debate that night was Maharishi, not Shankaracharya. So the yogis always tell this statement. My Acharya in last Sunday Yagya, my Acharya was telling one statement. He is saying that you have doubts on me, you have doubts on a yogi, but yogi does not fear anyone. Yogi's shelter is Paramatma. He always fears only Paramatma. A yogi will not do any karma against Vedas because he knows that Paramatma is watching him. So I do not have fear on your doubts. You can doubt me, no problem. But I will never do any karma which is against the Vedas. So because my shelter is Paramatma, and I know Paramatma is watching me. Even a yogi, when he does mistakes, Paramatma will punish the yogi. So my Acharya always says that I only fear Paramatma. I do not have any other fear. So this we must understand. So that's why here Maharishi says, whose only shelter is Paramatma. So when we have to become like Maharishi or any other yogi, we must have these qualities. We must derive Anand from Paramatma. Today what we are doing, we are deriving Anand from Kam, Krodh, Madh, Lobh, Ahankar. We are deriving Anand from Prakriti. Even I am speaking as if I am a tapasvi, I am not. I also derive Kam, Krodh, Madh, Lobh, Ahankar from Prakriti. But whenever I read about Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati, whenever I listen to my Acharya, I always try to, relate that, am I even eligible to read these authors? Am I even eligible to go to my Acharya? Because I am doing Kam, Krodh, Madh, Lobh, Ahankar, but I am still wanting to listen more. So slowly we must try to correct ourselves. So we must understand that if you want to become like Maharishi or a yogi, you must derive Anand from Paramatma. You must do tapasya. We must become Dayavan, ocean of mercy. Ocean of mercy is flourishing from Maharishis and yogis. We must go to those Maharishis and yogis to derive knowledge. And one who speaks Saraswati, one who speaks the knowledge of the Vedas, one who is the abode of truth, one who is indulged in truth 24/7, one who cannot speak any lies, he is Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati and Acharyas and yogis. So who is real Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati? We must understand from this kind of shlokas. And when you read Satyartha Prakash in Hindi, I am not a Hindi person, but when I'm still reading the Hindi version. When I read the Hindi version, I can understand, because Hindi version is written directly by Maharishi. If you are reading Ved Bhashya, don't read Hindi Bhashya. Read the Sanskrit Bhashya, because Ved Bhashya Maharishi did not write in Hindi. Yeah, it's maybe we can say 95 to 97% true, but the Sanskrit Bhashya is 100% truth. So if you do not know Sanskrit, go to Acharyas to learn from Sanskrit. So similarly, read the Hindi Bhashya of Maharishi Satyartha Prakash. Read the Sanskrit Bhashya of Ved Bhashya. Even Rigveda Adi Bhashya Bhumika Maharishi has written in Sanskrit. And you can also read the translation in Hindi or English, but Sanskrit is really good. Rigveda Adi Bhashya Bhumika. So we must understand that when we have to become such a tapasvi, we must make our shelter as Paramatma and Acharya. We do not have an Acharya, we do not do tapasya, we do not have brahmacharya quality, and then we start speaking about Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. Really shameless people we are. Though those whoever it may be who are speaking against Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati, shameless people, they do not fear Paramatma. Paramatma wants in Atharvaveda, don't go against a yogi. I will make your life miserable, and Paramatma will definitely make their life miserable, 100% guaranteed. I do not want to speak about those mantras, but Paramatma gives a very, very stringent punishment to those people. So this is Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. If you do not want to go by the side of Maharishi, it's okay, but at least don't criticize him. Don't criticize him with bad words. This is my humble request. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.